welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English as you may already have noticed. And today we are going to have a look at 3 different games again, which will be Hello Stars Plus, Air Combat Panda Commander and Mike Wii Skateboard Party Lite. My name is Jared, and as always I've got a couple of different things with me, which are for instance the Arc Mouse, which is this Bluetooth enabled mouse here. I'm going to use a foldable keyboard, you all know about that already. It's a keyboard that is foldable. And yeah, more or less that is that. And we have the Xbox One's wireless controller. In this episode there is even a game that we can play with it again, and so we are going to do that. And yeah, of course everything is done by the Lumia 950XL lying at the place here. And it's connected by this cable you can see here with this display dock at the side. And the display dock is going to be, or is already connected to the TV, and like that we can play, for instance, games with it on the big screen or do office work or something like that. And if you want to know more about all that, please have a look at the corner up there. We are going to talk about a couple of things there in other videos you might want to check out. Yeah, and then let's start with the first game. The first game is Hello Stars Plus. I'm going to use my mouse here to control that. Everything is connected by Bluetooth to the smartphone as mentioned. And yeah, let's see. First I have to deactivate that game. We're going to play that as the last as the last entry. We're going to play the first one here, which is of course Hello Stars Plus in this case. So I'm going to activate that. And Hello Stars Plus is more or less a drawing game with a puzzle in there, of course. And it's pretty interesting done. I'm going to decrease the volume a little bit here. And the interesting part about it is that you really have to draw your lines more or less in a very interesting way. As you can see, I have a couple of different levels already played here, and you can already see what I'm going to use there in some situations. So let's play the first one, and after that we might go to one of the levels far away though. So as you can see, those are all the different lines I have drawn here, and let's start with this one for instance. The interesting part about all this is that everything is going to be physics enabled, so even your drawings and stuff like that will fall down, and that is very important. So something like, I don't know, for instance this will not work, because they are falling down with the player itself too, and like that you are not going to be able to move your character. And of course the aim of the whole thing here is to bring those two characters together so they can kiss or whatever. And yeah, so let's restart that and try to find something else. There is sometimes a little bit of this kind of advertisement in between. You will have to live with that. There's sometimes not even the possibility to get rid of it. In most situations there is, but sometimes there is not. At least not at that place. Here seems to be just placed at the other. There's a point here, so whatever. And we are going to close it down too. And let's see how this can be done. I will have to restart. And now to bring this character to this character, you will have to draw something that is a little bit more like, yeah, not like that. Sorry. If you are hitting some of the other things here, so for instance one of the walls or another drawing of yourself or the ball or something, then the game is going to start more or less, so the physics will be activated and it's not going to work anymore. So as you can see, for me, I will turn around. That's easier for me to see how close I'm already in there. So let's try again. As mentioned before, sometimes you will have to cope with advertisement, which is going to be there. In general, if you are drawing and playing in a real style, it's not that interrupting or something. But yeah, of course, if I'm showing it, it's always too much. Whatever. So let's try it out. I'm going to move it to this point, for instance, Now I'm going to go up again, and now I'm going to build this kind of ramp so that he will get some kind of momentum, and that should bring him over there. As you can see, the ramp itself is standable by itself, so it can really stand and be more or less not something that is just falling down or so. And like that, we got the first level fixed here. Yeah, and so it's more or less going to be a couple of times. This is more or less the same. Don't know why this is an own level. If you ask me, it's exactly the same solution here. But in the end, there are going to be different kind of levels here with different kind of solutions to be found. And one of, for instance, is pretty interesting because I didn't experience that before in some of those drawing games. So let's have a look. I think it's, here for instance, where should the momentum come from? There's nothing to move it with. But there is a little trick you can do, for instance, because the drawing itself is falling down and you know that, it's going to be helpful too in addition to that. So we are going to try it out in this case. Something like that might work, I'm not sure, not really. And you will have to do it a couple of times till you got the hang of it in general. What I'm trying to do here is to give him some kind of a little bit of a motion, as you can see, because the drawing or the line I draw will more or less move around and wobble a little bit. It will give him some kind of momentum, and you can do that even better than that. And of course you can do it with the other character too, if you for instance want. This one is a little bit faster, so that should be helpful, and like that we can just with this kind of movement that is done there, move them together, and that should be fine. Yeah, and here's another one, more or less easy. Ooh. So, let's see, we are going to get rid of that. Okay. So let's try it here, that's pretty easy too. So again, just build some kind of a base. Don't hit your own drawings, otherwise it's going to be like that. And so let's try it again. Oh, come on. Oh. Okay, once again. So we are putting this at max to that point. And we are going to put that over here. That should be it. In the end, as you can see, not that complex in some situations. Sometimes it's a little bit harder, so you really have to think about it, how to do it and do stuff with it. In general, it's doable at least. And so try it out. I really think it's a fine game, and you should have a look at it, because it's pretty nicely done. Okay, so close that down and let's have a look at the second entry in our mashup today. That is Air Combat Panda Commander. This game is a little bit more for the portrait mode in smartphones or something, but it's playable in the landscape mode. We are using it in this case, and it's more or less a fighting game with a flying armada from the top. I will show you what this is all about. So I'm going to click on Air Combat Panda Commander. Here we are. And as you can see, this is more or less the Panda Commander, which is going to navigate the airplane around and kill everything and stuff like that. As you can see, here it is. It's going to be played with your mouse only, so you can't play it with, for instance, the keyboard or the Xbox Wireless controller or something. Just use it with your mouse only, and then you're fine. I'm going to turn around again, because it's a pretty fast game. In some situations you will have to have a little bit compromise. I will show you or tell you when that is going to happen. So let's see. And here are the settings, of course. We can have a look at that. There are two different ways to control it. In the end, I think if you're using the mouse, it's always this kind of mode, but I'm not sure about that. You can just keep this one too, it's working too, but I think it's more or less this mode. I played it like this with these settings and that worked. but whatever. And yeah, other than that, just press on the play button for the first time and go in. There are other options. For instance, you can buy stuff and so on and so forth. But at first, of course, you don't have enough money to do that, and so we are going to go to stage 1 and try to play that first. Okay, so what is this game about? This is more or less your little fighter, and you're going to just click on it and hold your mouse button down. If you are releasing it, it's going to be in this kind of close to pause mode. It's not really paused, but it's close to that. And as you can see, if you are killing some of those enemies which are coming there, you're going to get this kind of stars. Some are shooting at you, some are not. You will live even if they are shooting at you and you are getting a little bit of them. I'm not sure where I can see how much I still have. And there's this little annoying thing that you can't fly to the total left or something, and sometimes there are just enemies which are going to try to kill you and flying in that kind of direction there, but you are not going to be able to do that and go over there. So as you can see, it's only this little part in the middle you can turn around and play with. That might be a little bit different if you're playing it with portrait mode device, but yeah, at the moment we're not able to do that, so let's see what we can do here. There are different kind of enemies, of course. Some, for instance, are going to try to kill you with missile seeking, or heat seeking missiles or something like that. So those are pretty bad. Good thing is, of course, you can take a punch there. A little bit more than I would expect, but whatever. Here you can see one of the enemies I can't kill now, which is a little bit annoying. And yeah, so let's see what we can do here. Of course there are... Oh, goblin. Didn't see that kind of goblin before. Interesting. As you can see, they are going to hit you pretty bad after a while. Especially if you're not intelligent enough, as I am, to go out of the way there. Okay, goblins are pretty easy to kill too. That's fine then. In the end, the storyline... Okay, at least they are telling me now that I'm close to that. So let's see if we can at least kill that one. Okay. Here are some kind of fireballs flying at me, for instance, and of course you should not get in contact with them. And as you can see, there are pretty many different enemies available in this game. So for instance, there's mines, and yeah, okay, I died. We can keep on playing if we have enough stars. We don't have enough stars at the moment. I can't even see all of the numbers there, but I can see that there's no 2 at the front. So we will have to restart again. Just try it again. In the end, at each level end there will be some kind of a boss fight. And let's see if we can reach that. I'm just trying it 2 times or something. If I'm not going to get it now, then it's not going to happen for me. Again, that annoying guy who is not, or who I cannot kill. Really annoying for me. Those guys at least I can kill. It's pretty hard to do because only one of my bullets is hitting him, but at least it's working. Okay, got enough of the stars here too. And now let's see if we can kill those guys. As you can see, at the start there is not much firepower on your side or something, but at least you are pretty able to kill those guys here. Wow. Here's for instance one of the power-ups you might experience, which are for instance increasing your input level of stars and stuff like that. that will be hardcore. Okay. I'm living for another day, but not very long, if you ask me, if I'm playing like that. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Very important if you are playing, for instance, with the mouse, don't move it too far out of the side, because otherwise you're going to have a big delay till you are going to be there. That might be the setting I set it up there at the beginning, you know, where the finger is pointing at it. So if it's all about just moving, or if it's all about that where the stuff is really. Okay. So, got killed again. Couldn't show you the boss fight there. The boss fight is just a very big enemy which is flying around and firing at you with different kind of firearms, and of course those balls are all the time there, and we have some kind of a laser that is firing at you, and you just have to kill all the different turrets and stuff like that on him to get to the next level. Yeah, this is more or less a game. If you like this kind of games, try it out. It's a pretty good one. Especially if you're going to play it with the smartphone itself and not on the big screen in a landscape mode, because, as I mentioned before, it has a little bit of flaw with some landscape mode there. But in the end, it's pretty nice. You might want to try out the other setting too, so maybe that is helping with some of the problems there too. I'm not sure about that, but try it out. I think it's a nice one. Okay, so let's have a look at the last game in our mashup today, which is MikeWii Skateboard Party Lite. And this is really, yeah, a skateboard simulation game or something, and pretty nicely done, pretty good graphics too. And it can be played with the Xbox One as wireless controller with a trick, so I'm going to show you that. There's no real option to activate controllers or something in the game, but you have to go to the to one of the modi of the navigation or the controlling of the game. So there are two different modes. One is for the stick mode, more or less, and one is for the acceleration mode. So if you are going to tilt your device or something, which is of course not an option with Continuum in this case, because it just don't make much sense. As you can hear, it has a pretty nice soundtrack too, very nicely done. And so let's have a look at the options first. I'm going to turn around again, and as you can see, here are different options, and one you really have to do if you want to play this game at all, more or less, because I don't think you can play it with your keyboard in the other one mode too. You really have to use the device tilt mode in this case, and not, I think that one, stick is not going to work for some reason, or at least the default one is not going to work, and you will have to go to the other one. So I'm going to use that one, and then just activate your controller again. I don't know if it's going to be working at this place, or if we are going to have to go into one of the games itself to get the controller working. We will see. But after that, yeah, okay, it's already working. So we can use it even in the menu, as you can see, and work and go around. So let's have a look at the here mode in this case. There are different kind of options to play with. You can, for instance, change your character with different kind of attributes, and of course with different kind of clothing and stuff like that. So if you want to try that out, try it out. Whichever fits you best there. I think some of them have to be unlocked, of course, but some can be used at the start. So let's use that one. Why not? And yeah, then you can, for instance, buy different kind of boards. So with different kind of options there. So for instance, the wheels, and of course the board itself. And this is kind of the. Sorry, I don't know the English word for that, but you know what I mean. And in this case, we are going to play with this, why not? And let's see what the game is all about. So if you are going to be here, you have different kind of maps. It's a start, there is not or there is only one, yeah, more or less usable. If you're playing along, there are going to be other ones too. I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit. And yeah, there are other ones too if you are going to pursue the game, because this is a Lite version, there's a full version too. And but you can play in the Lite version just to see what this game is all about, and if you want to get the other one too, or the costly one too, you can use that, and it should be fine too. It's not too expensive. I'm not sure what the money was you would have to pay there. Yeah, in the end, if it's working, you can, for instance, jump around with the A button. I think B is more or less the same with the kick flip, so going around in this case. It's not exactly the same. There is another button in X, so you can, for instance, jump on stuff, and other than that, just use your joystick to run around and, for instance, do some kind of tricks you want to do here. There's a career mode, and there are different other modes available, so the training mode and the career mode, and they are going to just want you to play and get the score up, more or less. There are different kind of options here, so you can, for instance, jump over stuff and against stuff. As you can see, there's a little bit of blood involved, as you can see here, so if you are going to fall down or something, or being stupid, as I'm always, this is going to give you some kind of a feedback for that. You can find different kind of things here, for instance collectibles, if you are searching for them. Ouch. Not one of the jumps is going as I'm planned to go. Come on. Oh, okay, whatever. Come. Drive. Give me some kind of power here. I think one of the collectibles, I already collected a couple of things here, so on the child's play there is something on there, and there is, for instance, a hidden area we can find. So let's see where that one is. As you can see, we can do different kind of fun jumps here too, with different kind of buttons, of course, in this case. I think, yeah, the yellow one is not going to do anything, the other ones are. And let's see if I can find the hidden area already. I thought it was there. Ah no, okay, it's there. So let's try that. Do a flip or something. Here's the hidden area. So some kind of a swimming pool or so. And you can more or less do some kind of tricks here too, if you want to. Like in a half pipe or something. And drive around here. And of course, there are collectibles here too. I'm not sure if I already collected them, so we're not going to see them. But no, there is one. I'm not sure if we can get it. Ouch. Okay, fall down. But as you can see, there are more or less moving objects in the air, and you just have to collect them by jumping there in different kind of ways. Sometimes it's pretty easy to get them. Sometimes it's a little bit hard. I think this one is. Yeah. Okay, didn't get that. Just jumped around it, I think. But in the end, like that, you could, for instance, get the other collectibles there too and jump around and do stuff like that. As you can see, the full version is going to have no banner ads. Okay, they're not really annoying or something. But you get more skating locations, you can go to leaderboards and so on and so forth. And yeah, this is more or less what the game is all about. Try it out. I think if you like skateboard simulations and stuff like that, it's going to be a pretty nice one, especially if you have some kind of a controller or something, then it's fun to play. And yeah, so just try to get to the top of the leaderboard there and do some kind of tricks and yeah, this is more or less what this game is all about. Okay, so I think we are through with this episode in this case. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Of course, if you didn't subscribe till now, you might do that now. Button is down below. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. If you have any kind of commentaries or questions or whatever, just put them down in the commentary section down below. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. We will see us in the next episode again next week probably. And so, thank you for watching. See you, stay healthy, and bye bye.